Good afternoon, YouTube. Sorry if you can see a couple of specks on the lens. I've only just noticed them, and I've left the house without a wiper or anything, so I'm going to wait till I get back home. So, a quick preface to this one, right? I just want to make it clear before I get into this. I don't actually have an issue with anybody's religion or, the denomination within that religion. You know, especially amongst Christians, I think it's a bit cringe when we've got Catholics, Protestants, and the Orthodox Christians all arguing amongst themselves. Once years ago, it was only last year, to be fair. Last year I was working with a group of guys, and I'm like Protestant, and the guy was Catholic. There was a Serbian guy who was obviously Orthodox, and there was a guy who was Sunni Muslim, and a guy who was a Shiite Muslim. And we were all sort of just talking about faith. Nobody got upset, nobody got into arguments, nobody was trying to say that nobody's going to heaven and all this other kind of nonsense, right? And I often wonder why we can't have more conversations like that, finding out the similarities between us instead of the differences, right? So I am, as a person, open to talking about anybody from any faith, really. I find it interesting. I'm not authoritarian, mostly, and it does show me to myself that I'm not what the horrible people would say online. But I'm going to say something now, and it's probably going to get loads of nasty comments. And that is that we will not be going anywhere, right? I've just had an interaction with a Muslim on Twitter, and he's telling me that I'm going to be the one that'll be leaving the country. Well, let's get one thing straight here. We will not be the ones leaving. You will be the ones leaving. And we will make it happen. And if you don't leave, something worse will happen. And this isn't a threat. This isn't a plan. This is just me predicting the future. The future will encompass a fight for the country. Most likely there will be a civil war. And we will win. And you guys, on the other side of the argument, you're going to either have your heartbeat stopped somehow, because that's what happens in conflict, or you'll be forced to leave. And then when you refuse to leave, you will then be dealt with in that other manner anyway, for refusing to do as you're told. And this doesn't go just for a blanket statement against Muslims at all. As I said, I'm happy for Muslims to be in the country and talk to us and get to know us, but you cannot change the culture while you're here. You cannot try and install Sharia law. You cannot try and force your way to change our politics to suit you. You cannot try and get imams or anybody into the House of Lords. None of that is going to be tolerated. You adjust to our way of life and assimilate into our culture, which is why you came here, or you go. Those are the two options. That's what's going to happen. And again, this isn't a threat. I'm not threatening anybody in particular. I'm not saying it's going to be me going out and ending these lives. But there's a high chance in the civil war, right? I do get pulled into it, let's be honest. And if I have to make a choice between you not being alive anymore and me saving my country, you're getting your heartbeat stopped. Jesus will forgive me afterwards. But it's not going to go the way you want it. So I'm just getting distracted on the horizon there. Just walked towards me. There's about 20 old, sort of grandma type people. I'm not going to film them. Probably can't tell what I'm filming from over here. Yeah, like some old dears out for a ramble. And that'll be something that won't be allowed. If you want to go into this authoritarian stance of Islam, there'll be none of that happening. So, yeah, I'm here to predict the future with this video. There will be a conflict. There will be a fight. You guys will lose. You guys will either have to leave or play by our rules. That's what happens in every other country. Don't know why it has to be any different here. Or for some bullshit drama that happened not thousands, I didn't get a bit carried away, hundreds of years ago, that nobody in Britain participated in. And nobody in Britain really has ancestors that participated in it. Those ancestors probably still live in the other countries like the USA. So, you know, you're not going to use this sins of the father bullshit on us. We will fight, you will lose. That's how it's going to go. That's how it's pretty much always gone. Every time Islam tries to invade Europe, it's booted back out of Europe. There's only maybe like Albania where it's managed to fester away. And like, look at Albania. Bit of a shit country. Nobody would want to go live there, really. The Albanians are always at the top of the, well, they're always in second place behind Afghanistanis in regards to rape in the United Kingdom. So yeah, if you want to, you know, leave your country and come to ours because it's better here, then you have to abandon the shit things from your culture which made your culture shit, which includes Sharia law. You know, and I'm not 100% militant on Sharia law. Like, if in a Muslim relationship, do what they want almost, but trying to instill Sharia law onto the rest of us because you think we're kafir or you know, dhimmis, it's not going to work. You know, if anything, it probably should be the other way around. Should be. I mean, it's not. We try to believe in equality, but I kind of think like the push for equality is on its knees. You know, it's been proven to be nonsense, especially in regard to men and women. We've seen that men and women are not the same, no matter how much we try and pretend otherwise. There are genetic differences between men and women, and then on another level there are genetic differences between men, between races and ethnicities. There's a reason that the Chinese, Japanese and Jews always scoring some of the highest IQ scores. It's not a random, it's not fluke, you know. There's a reason why the NBA is full of black men. There's a reason why swimming is infested with white people. These are areas where we have seen that genetics plays a huge role in how you can perform. This happens in work, marriages and everything. You know, to try and pretend that genetics or culture doesn't make differences manifest is it's just pseudoscience, to be honest. And I'm, like I said, I'm not trying to say we shouldn't have any immigrants, we shouldn't have any Muslims. I'm not trying to say any of that. I dated a girl who was half Pakistani, half Indian, and she's now Muslim, like fully. I believe she married a Muslim man. Right? I had no issue when I was dating her. My only issue is, actually, when I was dating her, is that the Pakistani men would always stare at us, you know, because a white man dating an Asian woman. Obviously didn't like it, but you know, I was only dating an Asian woman, whereas they are actually abusing British women. So, you know, in a scale of harm done, certainly doing much more harm than what we are. And the most abhorrent thing with this guy that was saying it on Twitter is he works for the NHS. So we have somebody in the NHS who's racist against white people, and he's allowed to say that on Twitter, and there's nothing anybody can say about it. So he said that anybody who's not Jewish or Muslim gets treatment which isn't as effective as the Muslims do, and that they should just convert to Sharia law. And that's what he said. And then he says that I'm going to be the one leaving the country. I don't think so, Sunshine. I think we'll find, because I'm going to keep an eye on you now, that you'll be the one leaving. You'll be the one that's packed up and fucked off out here. It won't be me. And as I said, if you don't leave, you get worse repercussions. That's not a threat from me. This isn't something I'm setting out to do. This is just how conflict works. What do you think's happening in Sudan? You know, where there's an actual genocide occurring. Reportedly, lorries full of bodies driving through Sudan. So yeah, we will not be going anywhere. And just in case anybody's going to pull this video up in future, right? Obviously, I will be at some point be going to the Philippines, but I'm not going to live there full time. I'll be going there for YouTube and, you know, family creation reasons. And I will be bringing my family back here, and here will be fixed. Either I'll be here while we're fixing it, or maybe it happens while I'm elsewhere. But either way, by the time that I'm 70, I will be in this country. This country will be fixed. And you, Mr. Dirty Doctor who doesn't deserve to be in the business, you will be fucked off, or might not even be alive anymore, maybe. I mean, I don't really give a shit either way. Like, you know, and anybody who's wondering, if you've watched my videos, you know, I'm like Christian, but here I am saying somebody's going to die. You know, I'm pretty new to Christianity. I haven't like gone full pelt into it. I'm just steadying myself into it, and at the minute, I still just don't care when people who lose their lives. That I don't consider it a negative for the world. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll change that one day. Maybe one day in future you'll see a video go up, and I've repented for my attitude towards human life. But I'm certainly under the impression that when people say things like that, their life is forfeit. Their life does not matter anymore. You're not going to come into my home and start telling me what I'm going to do and that I'm going to leave it. Who the fuck do you think you are? You're vermin. That's all you are. Come into our country, try to extract resources because you're a waster in your country is, you know, it's not going to be tolerated anymore. It's not our fault. You're a useless piece of shit. You came here to try and take advantage of the generosity of the white man because we are the least racist people in the world, whether you like it or not. But that is soon changing because we've been taken advantage of for so long, and had foreigners taking advantage of us. Maybe we will go back to being the most racist TM. I'm not even sure we ever were, you know. I'm sure, like, you know, Asians much more racist than us. They don't like Africans, so that's for sure. You know, they all hate each other. Chinese hate the Japanese, Koreans hate the Chinese, Vietnamese hate the Chinese, Cambodians hate the Thais, Indonesians and Filipinos don't really like each other. So it's not just us. We've always been the more tolerant ones throughout history, really, I would argue. You know, there's a reason that all these foreigners come to our countries and they're allowed in here, and that these same concepts don't apply in places like China or India, or, you know, even Saudi Arabia. And I know Saudi Arabia, etc., do take immigrants, but, you know, they're taking the Filipinos, aren't they? They're not taking Africans. So yeah, it's time up, is what I'm saying. Maybe it's not going to happen straight away. There's not going to be no pitch battles in the streets for the next few months, maybe. But it's coming. It is coming. Civil war is on the way. Maybe I'm wrong, but I very much doubt it. I tend to be good at predicting these kind of things. I predicted the whole feminism thing. You know, I was crowing about feminists infecting academia and that they were trying to affect government legislation back in like 2008. Might have been 2009. As far back as then, and people always tell me, oh, it's not to worry about, nobody listens to these feminists, who cares what they think, and now look where we are. Now look where we are. All of you watching this can tell me feminist talking points now. Whereas back in 2008, 2009, I was the one telling everybody. I was the one telling everybody what the feminists meant by mansplaining, and I was the one that was telling people that they were trying to get it made illegal for men to stand up urinating, etc. in Germany. About the old dongle gate thing, how somebody got cancelled at an event for making a joke about a dongle, and some women heard him even though he wasn't talking to them. You know, I was right about all these things. And no, I'm not infallible, not right for 100% of the time, but dear God, I am right the vast majority of the time. And I don't want a civil war, but it's on the way. It is coming. Whether we all like it or not, it's on the way. You know, and if you are watching this as a British man, or English man anyway, Scottish, Irish included, the term British now encompasses loads of people who aren't loyal to the island of Britain as it stands. You know, I'm on your side. We will unite. I've seen posts saying it's time for the men to stand up, and I agree. But likewise, I'm not going to go stand out on my own and get targeted. So I'm only one person on my own. But, you know, if you maybe have your own thoughts, let me know in the comments. I'll leave this one here now anyway. And I'll see you in the next one.